Welcome back, YouTubers, to another WWE vlog with me, Daniel Parkin, and I'm so looking forward to doing this Raw review tonight. It was quite good. Before I do the video though, make sure if you subscribe up above if you like my videos, like the video if you like what I'm saying, or if you liked Raw tonight, and also make sure to put your thoughts down below in the comment section. Also make sure to add me on Skype and Twitter, and soon to be Facebook. I'll put them in the description box below. Wow, this Raw, the last Raw before WrestleMania, I expected it to be really good, and you know there was two, in my opinion, real epic promos tonight. But I'm gonna go through the whole of Raw. We opened up Raw with CM Punk cutting a promo on Orton. He's sitting in the ring, calling him Randall Keith Orton, as he's started doing recently. As he's about to leave the ring, Orton comes out with a brace on his knee and tries to attack Punk, and he gets the upper hand on him, does the DDT from the ropes, and then he tries to punt CM Punk, but his knee gives away, and then Punk immediately has the upper hand and GTS's him. So, you know, that was a decent segment. Punk was also, I think he was in his hometown, so the crowd cheered him, which was a little bit weird considering he's the heel, but you know, I think a lot of people like him anyway, so I'm not really surprised. But yeah, I mean, again, a good hype for their match. I mean, I didn't expect Punk to open the show at all, so this is a bit of a surprise for me. So yeah, overall, generally a very good promo by Punk and Orton, and it's be interesting to see how that injury plays in the WrestleMania match they're going to have. I imagine it'll have some sort of impact on the match itself. Then we then had the reuniting of Edge and Christian for the first time in 6 years against Alberto versus Brodus Clay, and then we find out that Edge not having to touch Alberto, Edge not being allowed to touch Alberto is only on SmackDown, so they're allowed to touch each other on Raw. So, you know, that kind of made that rule a bit stupid. I don't know why they even did that in the first place. You know, we had a huge pop for Edge and a huge pop for Christian. It was good to see. You know, Alberto and Edge in like the same ring. You know, because we haven't seen it in a while, apart from the attacks, obviously. But in an actual wrestling match, it's good. It's a good teaser for WrestleMania, in my opinion. You know, it's quite good build up. The match ends when Christian and Del Rio are fighting on the outside, and Edge spears Brodus Clay for the win. Del Rio's putting a cross arm breaker on Christian after the match. Edge comes out and Del Rio runs off into the stage, runs off to the backstage area, and then Edge walks back to help Christian, and Alberto Del Rio comes back and attacks him. So, you know, Alberto once again getting the upper hand. I still think he's going to win at WrestleMania, but he's getting the upper hand. He hits Edge with the cross arm breaker. More build for WrestleMania, which is good. We then have another Taker Triple H vignette video. I still don't feel these videos are enough build up, but you know, they played about a 5-minute video showing different clips of them too. We then see the Corre in the ring. We find out it's going to be a singles match between Justin Gabriel and Santino. Before the match starts, we find out there's a last minute addition to WrestleMania. It's going to be the Corre versus Big Show, Kane, Santino, and Kozlov. I don't know why they're having that match. So basically, they've made Barrett win the IC title because Kofi Kingston isn't at WrestleMania. They probably had no plans for him, so they gave Wade Barrett the IC belt. So the IC belt would be at WrestleMania. You know, this is a little bit of a random match in my opinion. Like Santino and Kozlov, yeah, they've been facing Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater, but you know, it's a little bit random. But you know, it's a match I won't pay too much attention to. It's not one of the best matches on the card, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. But it's good to see the Corre at WrestleMania. I do hope the Corre go over in this match, although I do feel that Kane, Big Show, and Santino and Kozlov will. Santino Marella wins with the Cobra, and there's like, you know, the Corre and the rest are fighting outside. You know, there's a lot of action there on the outside. Santino comes in and does his whole, and then Kane comes in, and after about a minute starts doing it, and it's fucking funny when he starts doing it. Whew. We then have the first of the two epic promos that I'm talking about. We had the Triple H Undertaker face to face. This was a real intense promo. You had the two entrances were really intense. Triple H's entrance got interrupted by Undertaker's music, which was quite good as he was just about to do his whole water spraying thing. You had a minute stare down, and then all of a sudden, who else's music hits other than HBK, Shawn Michaels? I was marking out. I couldn't believe this. I didn't expect him to be there. It was fantastic to see Shawn Michaels again, especially just before he's going into the Hall of Fame. He comes into the ring. He comes in, and the first thing he says is, "There's no way I'm gonna miss this." And I'm just thinking to myself, this is gonna be fucking epic. And he cuts a little promo. At the end, he says to Triple H why he thinks he can do what he can't do, what he didn't do even. So that was a good little question, I thought. Triple H obviously shows respect for both Shawn and Taker as his best friend, as his best friend, and Taker as a a legitimate opponent. But he says that Taker's time is up, and yeah, I still don't buy Triple H is going to win, but this is at least convincing me a little bit because this promo was really good. It was a real good promo by Triple H in my opinion, real on the spot. And again, this is the first bit of meaningful build up we've had for this match. I think all the videos and everything do not compare to this promo. We then get Taker. Taker takes the mic off Triple H. He says that if anyone was going to put him down, it would be Triple H, but it's not his time. And the Streak and Taker will still be alive. So it looks like they both have respect for each other. But obviously there's a rivalry going on there. But with them respecting each other, it kind of doesn't make me feel they're in a rivalry, even though I know they are. Taker then goes on to say that Shawn Michaels is going into the Hall of Fame full of regret, and obviously that gets a bit of a woo from the crowd. And Shawn Michaels then tries to hit him with Sweet Chin Music, but Taker catches his leg, and then forces him back to the corner. Triple H then wises up to Taker, sort of like goes face to face with him. He says to Shawn, you tell Taker why I'm going to beat him at WrestleMania. And Shawn Michaels, I did not think he would do this. Shawn Michaels walks out the ring, seemingly emotional, walks out the ring and looks at Triple H and says, "You can't beat him." And I was thinking to myself, wow, that was deep. That was a real good promo. He says that he can't beat him. Shawn Michaels says that his best friend can't beat Undertaker. It was a real epic promo. It finally gave this match a little bit of meaning, and I think it needed Shawn Michaels to do that. As this match has had very little build up, and finally this match has some kind of meaning. This promo has really built this match up on its own, really. Even though there still could have been more build up, this promo has really done its job. In my opinion, I'm actually now quite looking forward to this match, despite all my previous doubts about the build-up. This promo itself really did its job, and I expect Shawn Michaels to have some sort of input into the main event. I'm not sure, but I expect him to do something, kind of like I expect Rock to get involved in the Cena Miz match. But yeah, first of two real good promos tonight, second of which will be the main event. Well, what really can follow that? Jack Swagger versus Jerry Lawler, of course. This was a bit of a weird match because they fight outside the ring. Lawler hits Swagger with the chair and then goes after Cole, who retreats into his coal mine. The security holds him back, and Cole throws. As Jerry Lawler's going in, Cole throws some liquid in his face. So this is probably like not the best of things they've had to build it up, but they've already had a lot of build up, so I guess they didn't need to. And with a lot of things happening in this Raw with regards to promos and stuff, it was kind of just a short promo and a little bit more build up going into WrestleMania. But again, it was pretty good to see. It's really enhancing their rivalry. We then get Vicky Guerrero coming out and trying to do a Jomo impression, and she fails miserably because she's Vicky Guerrero. And then there's a tag team match. We have Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus versus John Morrison and Daniel Bryan. This match is really short, mainly because of the commercial break. And when we get back, Sheamus wins with a high cross. So again, Sheamus push going into. I think it was on Daniel Bryan. So Sheamus's push going into WrestleMania. That match would be quite good, I imagine, as a wrestling match. I think. We then have a little vignette. With the Road Warriors. Oh, what a rush, man! That was awesome. I love that promo I love that vignette they did with the Road Warriors. They really deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. If you haven't seen my video on Road Warriors in the Hall of Fame, I'll link it up here or in the description box below. I did a video about a couple of days ago about it, so if you want to check that out, if you want my opinions on that. We then get to the main event. As we all know, it was going to be Rock, Miz, and Cena in the same ring. Rock comes out first to a huge pop. Absolutely huge pop. The fans went mental, and why wouldn't they? They haven't seen him in the ring for a couple of weeks, and it is just great seeing The Rock back, and he does look in good shape, like to wrestle. He comes in and he does his usual making fun of Cena, saying why he's here, all that kind of stuff, and then Cena comes in, and this is where I thought the promo got quite interesting. Cena comes in and says, this is exactly what he wanted. The Rock in the ring. He says he was one of the millions of fans. He says to him, he gets very serious, which is very rare for John Cena in his promos, but he gets quite serious with The Rock. He says, if you have a problem with my colour, the music I listen to and stuff like that. He says that he is proud of what he is, proud of what he has become, He says he's proud that he's, an advocate for children and stuff, that his audience is children and stuff like that. He really makes a statement to The Rock that, he doesn't care who he is. He doesn't care if he's being judged, and he says that he especially doesn't want to get judged by The Rock, which I think personally was probably one of Cena's best promos for a while now, because it was serious and it really sent a message out. Cena says if he has a problem with him, then he should just he said that he should just fight him, and then when the microphone was off, he just told him to bring it, and then as soon as them two size up a little bit, of course, as we all know, The Miz comes out. The Miz comes out and starts saying that he'll beat Cena at WrestleMania, that The Rock as a film star won't want to risk his health just to get beaten up by The Miz, and that The Rock won't do a thing tonight and at WrestleMania as well. The Miz and A-Ray then attack The Rock from behind, but The Rock, as we all know he would do, attacks him back, hits Riley out the ring, does a DDT on The Miz, which was awesome, and then does the People's Elbow. Boy, have I waited for a while to see that move again. I was marking out for a fuck over the People's Elbow. That was the best People's Elbow I've ever seen in my life. It was so good to see that move again, and so good to see Rock wrestling again as well. It was brilliant to see him wrestle. He does the People's Elbow on Miz, and then throws Miz out the ring, and then all of a sudden Cena comes behind Rock and FUs him, gives him an attitude adjustment in the middle of the ring. Oh, and he had that heel look in his face, like he was pissed off and stuff, and it was good to see. I mean I'm not the biggest fan of Cena, but I think that was a real message to Rock. That promo again was the second of two epic promos tonight that really stood out for the show and really give this show like a real, a star quality, so to speak. With The Rock being there, you're always going to get an A plus kind of promo. As for the whole promo itself, it made Miz look a little bit weak, but I suppose with the main angle being The Rock and John Cena, they kind of wanted to focus on that. But Cena, I thought they'd get Rock. I thought Rock would have his own way. I guess he did with Miz, but John Cena gives him the attitude adjustment. It was just an awesome promo. I don't really know what else to say. I'm still a little bit shaken. I'm still a little bit goosebumped by it because it was a really good promo. Yeah, and to me, it seemed like John Cena it seemed like a little heel turn by John Cena in a way, because he had that heel look on his face. Especially to a guy like The Rock, who's respected by millions of people. It had like a kind of heel turn sort of thing going with it. So yeah, so after that, overall the show Raw tonight was pretty good, mainly because of these two promos, which really did well to hype these matches at WrestleMania. I am now looking forward to these two matches more than any other matches on the card. The show itself seemed a little bit crammed. There was a couple of things in there, that seemed very, very crammed. The two promos took up a lot of time, which is correct in my opinion. But there wasn't much wrestling, of course. But I suppose the Royal WrestleMania, I wasn't really too bothered about the wrestling. The promos were good. I really liked the promos, so that's good enough for me. If I like the promos, I'm not too bothered about the wrestling. This episode, I thought Raw was quite good tonight. I mean, I was really tired, and even I was still marking out for things. So I wouldn't usually do that when I'm tired. Usually I'll just go straight to sleep. So it was really good. It was entertaining as well. So I just really loved this episode of Raw. The ending, like I said, the ending was a bit unpredictable. I did not think that would happen. But I'm not a Cena fan, but I did like the ending. I did think it was quite good, even though it did make Miz look a bit weak. But I couldn't care less about the Miz when Rock and John Cena are facing each other. So yeah, that's been my opinions of Raw. If you guys have any opinions on Raw, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Also, make sure to catch me on Twitter. My Twitter is Daniel_Parkin. My Tumblr is Daniel Parkin. And more recently, I've been using Skype. My Skype username is Daniel.Parkin01. Once again, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click that subscribe button up there. Like the video if you liked Raw tonight, or if you liked what I've said. And once again, comment down below. Also, while I'm here, I want to give a bit of a shout out to Dreamboy899, who's at Raw tonight. He's going to be uploading live reaction videos and stuff. So definitely look out for those. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description box below. He's going to put I believe he'll be putting some good videos up. So definitely check them out. So yeah, that's been it from me. I'm pretty much out of breath because I've been marking out and I've been talking so much. So I'm gonna leave it there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.